excited for the win. Felt we really could have played a lot better. Disappointed in the penalties. I think for as much as we've, made an example of it and had reps practice and all of it, I need to do a much better job. I take that kind of personally, and it's an area I need to improve a lot. You look at the stats that are coming out of the game, and whether it's rushing yards or total yards or really any metric you want to look at, it's tilted in Baylor's favor. And the one stat that's tilted way the other way is penalties. So you look at points that were taken off the field, or opportunities that were taken away by playing the game and then given back to Texas State by penalties. I think it's a big piece of it. So disappointed in that. Got to get a whole lot better. I am proud of I thought our identity in offense. You can have a feel of what we're trying to accomplish. I thought Gary Bohannon was calm, collected, poised, was confident. Gary was great on the sidelines when it was good and bad in terms of encouraging people. Gary's got so much to grow as a quarterback. He's really gifted as a leader. And then I think offensive line-wise, there was, just being in that room, however many yards we rush for, they know the exact number, and so they're taking a lot of pride in that, and they want to build off of that, and for them to have something to feel good about, it's been a while for them, and so I'm happy for them. And I think defensively, just too many penalties, particularly on that side of the ball. I think for our talent level and our experience on that side of it, we just have to be better. And so I take it upon myself to get them to be better. I'll take any questions you guys got.
Yeah, Dave, 200-yard rushers. I mean, that had to be pretty nice to see.
Yeah, I thought, we had practiced for an odd front. They were primarily an odd front. Last year, almost exclusively. And there was some heads fronts, D-line row with guards, 4 down fronts, and that's about all they play today. And so you get into these deals in the first games where this stuff can kind of happen. I think the other piece that came up was man coverage. They're primarily quarters and zone coverage, and they're all press and up in people's faces and that. And so I thought, the ability for our offensive staff to kind of work through that and get adjustments going and all of it, we can practice that, we do, but the best is to kind of go through it and then come out of it with a win as you do that is something that it's important for us at our stage where we're at right now. But I thought, the ability to run the ball, the ability to make adjustments on the go, and to be in the fourth quarter and lean on people it's a good thing, something to build off of.
Does that show a certain amount of toughness that you guys want to have as part of that identity that you're talking about?
Yeah, the toughness to me, inherent in that, would be playing clean, and so like we talk about playing with an edge, and so that's going right to the limit of whatever is allowed or whatever is accepted, accepted effort / emotion / you name it. And so, when you have 11 penalties, you're going over the edge, And so I think for us to be able to play with that type of emotion, toughness, and all of it, but to do it in a way where we're not, hurting ourselves, I think would be a really good definition of toughness. We've still got some ways to go.
How did you handle that early fumble with Abram? It seemed like you tried to get him back out there pretty quickly and get him back in. What was that? I'm sure that was a pretty good learning thing, but you don't want it to happen too often.
Yeah, I go back to spring ball when we would practice versus our defense. There would be a fair amount of success on either practice field or in our indoor during practice situations, and we would cross the bridge and have a scrimmage in McLean. It'd be a Saturday, maybe parents are invited, and then I think spring media was there, and offense would struggle. And I think it was more about crossing the bridge and more about something different, expectations maybe, and all of it. And so I think for us to kind of get over that hump, which really offensively took place in the second scrimmage of fall camp, what really was it, I think one of the main factors in that was when something bad happened, right, offensively, teammate, right, saying an encouraging word, right, helping them up, right, patting the butt, patting them on the head, right, saying we're going to get it next time, man, right, we're talking about pound the rock, right, and so that, I think, when you feel like you're backed up by your people, then you can go out and, you know, not try to be perfect, not try to be all this other stuff, but just feel like I can go out and do my best, and people got me, you know what I mean? I don't have to be somebody or be this or be that to be accepted and to be loved, really. And so I think there's been a lot of work with that. And, you know, I bring that up because after Abraham's deal, I want to say it's Ben Sims, we had a couple guys go right up to him and do that again. And so I think that's a huge piece. You know, maybe they should have that for coaches too, or something. You know, but I think like the ability for you to kind of you know that, hey man, we're in this thing, right? Let's get together and let's do it. I think it's a big piece. And so you have to coach it like anything else.
Dave, with the defense getting 3 picks and also scoring 9 points, I mean, what did you think of their overall performance?
Good. I think, you know, there is that there. And I think, you know, it's just, I feel like to me, until we clean up the penalties, right? Because we can, you know, I know that happened and we did those things. But when there's still 20 points or whatever it is on the deal, you take those penalties out. There isn't that, and now you're talking about, you know. And so I think, you know, our boys deserve that standard, and I feel like our coaches do, and so you know, I feel the pressure to meet that standard. You know, we all deserve it, and so we have to be able to play better and then still have that, because our kids have that. They have that playmaking ability. Look at Petrie and McVeigh and all these guys. They have all of that. We just have to play cleaner. And I think more things will come too because of that if we do play cleaner.
How big of a lift was that early getting to the JT interception?
It was strong. There was some nerves. You know, we talked about coming out of the huddle, or coming out of the tunnel rather, about just you know, being relaxed, being ourselves, letting the game come to us. And so, you know, I go back to that, you know, crossing the bridge reference. And so there's some of that. And so I thought after that kind of settled us down, especially on defense.
Anything else?
What did you say to McVeigh after I saw you kind of, you know, they made the great play? And I don't know if that's an NFL thing. You know, they were doing that a lot last year, to go down to the camera, or maybe there were some fans they were trying to celebrate with or something. But what was your message? Because you like to celebrate, but I saw some of your coaches like looking around like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, we had shown, I think, you know, and I think this is just part of it, and I feel like I can be a lot better in this space, but we had shown from previous games that have already been played, personal fouls, right, of, hey, our referees are being you know, urged to really look for this, they're going to call this, right, and there's examples in the Nebraska-Illinois game, and there's examples in the, I can't remember other games. There's about 2 or 3 clips we showed of exactly, you know, of exactly what not to do. So then to go out and do that thing, that's way disappointing. And so, you know, I got him on the sidelines. I said, you know, everything we've been talking about is exactly not that. And so we have to get better. I need you to help me with this. And so he's apologized for it like 5 times since then. But I think, you know, it's in the moment though that it counts, you know. And so it's not afterwards. So.
Dave, did Tristan and Abram, did they give you what you wanted? I mean, maybe was this more than what you expected of them?
No, it's been like this in practice, you know, and I think Tristan's ability to make plays when they're not there is a gift that he has. And so I think his challenge is, you know, not every play is going to be a 20-yard gain. Right? If it's a 4-yard gain, let's get that. And I thought there was some of that today. And then he, in terms of chipping and blocking, pass protection, I thought he did a lot of good things. I feel like Ed's way turned on, and I feel like he's playing the best since I've known Tristan's playing the best that I've seen him. And then I think with Abe, you know, Abe's physical and wants to come downhill. I thought he was showing that tonight. I think as the game goes on, right, as we get into more of a rhythm, I think he's going to be a guy that you want to feed. And a lot of good things, good 1-2 punch.
Thanks, Doug.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.